This video is going to be on the best zero build loadout in the current Fortnite. Here's the video.
What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over what I think is the best zero build loadout in the summer escape event, and likely even after the event is over. I don't think they'll change anything too drastic with some of these items. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful or informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe to like see more, and comment down below what your favorite setup is to run in Fortnite right now. So as far as ARs go, the MK Alpha is just a clear definitive winner. I think it's much better than both the
I agree, Jake.
And the thermal DMR as far as dominating mid to long range fights. There are times where like either the Havoc AR or the thermal DMR might outclass the MK, but as far as like a majority of the fights that you're going to get into, the MK is just the better choice. And even in some fights where those other,
it's really easy to use that range on the MK. It's easy to use the range on the MK to just know when you can and cannot engage.
Weapons might have the advantages. They're more one-dimensional, and even then it's not like they're a clear upgrade over the MK in a lot of the fights where they may be better. So I just think the MK is the way to go as far as ARs go. For medium to long range, I think it's just the best choice. The Flapjack AR is also in the game, but you know, it's just the red dot ARs are pretty much always going to have a huge advantage over the third-person ones in zero build because it's much more convenient to play cover and peek.
Last season, season 2 and season 1, it was the red dot. What was it? The hammer in season 3, chapter 3, season 3.
Cover. Also, you get in more like long range.
Hammer didn't have a red dot, but it was still really good
because people can't just build and protect themselves. So the MK having a red dot is very good for this, and it has a good fire rate. Yep. It's got good damage.
Again, he did kind of make a point right there. There's going to be a different loadout whether you're playing solos, squads, zero builds, or builds. So, in my opinion, Repeater is like a must carry in builds. Just
got
saying.
Manageable recoil, which is a very solid all-around weapon. So I think the MK is still going to be the best AR choice. Shotgun is where it kind of gets dicey because I feel like there's 4 shotguns in the game right now, and they all have a clear like purpose or reason to exist. I think they're all good. I guess the Breacher shotgun exists also, but I wouldn't really recommend using that at this point. But, you know, the Havoc Pump, the Sharp Tooth Shotgun, the Maven Auto Shotgun, and the Drum Shotgun, I think they're all quite good. I prefer the Havoc Pump. It's just the highest damage potential shotgun in the game. Doesn't have as much range as something like the Sharp Tooth, but that really high damage is what I want out of my pump shotgun.
So, Jake is an advocate for weapon switching. I think he's made multiple videos in the past. I actually took his advice in chapter 4 season 1 to master weapon switching. Pick the strongest shotgun, which was the Thunder at the time, in your favorite AR or any submachine gun, pistol, whatever it was, some type of fully automatic whatever, and practice switching. So I did, and I did very well at chapter 4 season 1. We got over 100 golden crowns, and we didn't play for 12 hours a day. We had got 100, I think it was 108 or 110 crown wins that season. So that's the reason why he likes the high damage. He's going to use weapon switching to his advantage. So whether that be something big or whatever, he's going to use weapon switching to his advantage. And he doesn't want to be holding that shotgun.
And the Sharp Tooth does have much higher range than the Havoc Pump, which can be good for kind of playing off the explosive repeater, which we're going to get to later on, or just playing cover. But for me, when I'm picking a shotgun, I value the close range damage over like the medium to long range shotgun. Like the Sharp Tooth, I think, retains damage up to like 70 meters or something like that, which makes it pretty insane. But it's like, if I'm that far away, I would rather just be using my AR anyways, and I feel like over time the AR is just going to be the better choice for that type of fight, or the explosive repeater. So it's like the added range of the Sharp Tooth is novel, but in practicality, I just much prefer the Havoc Pump. I think it's just the better choice for up close, and that's just my playstyle. And then also, like the Maven Auto Shotty, you know, the exotic Maven, the Drum Shotty, they exist. If that's what you enjoy using, that's what you enjoy using. But I feel like those shotguns, while they can be good, they're not going to be as consistently good as something like the Havoc Pump. If you use the Drum Shotty, you can get a lot of kills with that weapon, you can get a lot of wins with that weapon. But if you go up against a good player using the Havoc Pump, it might be hard
Yep.
for you to defeat them, especially with the explosive repeater
Yep.
in the game, which is going to be the final weapon I suggest using. The explosive repeater was
So on his shotgun points, I personally think the best shotgun in the game right now is the Heisted Maven. I think it is forgiving. Sure, you can global someone with the Havoc, but I think it's forgiving. I think the Heisted Maven is so fast and it is so forgiving that 99% of the time you're going to be able to get your kills with the Maven. I also like the drum because it's a lot like the Maven in the speed and it's forgiving. So this is going to be like one of those, which one is actually better? The Havoc is actually better than every other shotgun by damage. If you want to go by pure DPS by damage, than any other shotgun except maybe the Heisted Maven. Somebody can probably correct me if I'm wrong there. So which shotgun should you probably be using? Probably the Havoc. Probably the Havoc. But it's going to be high skill, high reward. So if you can hit your shots with that, it's a high skill weapon. If you can hit your shots with it, you're going to do more damage. But if you want something that's a little more forgiving, if you want to play call it newbie, if you want to play the newbie way, it's just going to be the Heisted Maven. Otherwise, pick your shotgun and play to the shotgun's advantage. I think that is Jake's thing, and I agree with Jake.
was added during the season, and it is incredibly good. Not only do you get solid damage if you hit the person, you get explosive damage on top of that if you just hit near them. If you hit the person, you get the
Repeater's
hit
fucking
and the
OP.
explosive damage. If you hit near them, you can just get the explosive
I've already made
damage
TikToks
in
about
some
this.
cases. Not only is this a close range dominant weapon when combined with a shotgun, because you can swap from the Havoc pump to the explosive repeater, shoot, and then swap back to the pump and essentially use it like how double pump was back in the day. You can do the same thing with the sharp tooth as well. Like either the
Stupid.
pump shotguns go very well with the explosive repeater in close range, and that's also one of the things that kind of steers me towards a pump.
And that is also like a super forgiving setup there as well. Super forgiving. If you miss with the repeater, you're going to get the explosion damage, which then you can immediately switch back to your Havoc, boom, and then switch back to your. So like if you get a headshot with the Havoc and you get a body shot with the repeater, you're good. You're good. If you get a body shot with both of them, you're good. You're gonna eliminate your enemy. So if you get a headshot with the Havoc and you get a floor shot with the repeater, you're good. You're gonna get a limb.
Shotgun more. Not only do I prefer the pump style shotguns, but with the explosive repeater in the game, you don't really lose that much fire rate when you're swapping between them. The Maven Auto and the Drum Shotty are much easier to use and much more convenient to use. But if you get used to
I just said
swapping
that.
quickly and timing your shots well with the pump and the explosive repeater, you're going to dominate close range fights. The explosive repeater is also very good in those like medium to long range fights. Like I was saying, the sharp tooth is good in those fights, and it is
100%.
beneficial to have that range shotgun because you can kind of like peak shot consistently, but you can do the same thing with the explosive repeater. So that's another reason why I don't really care for the sharp tooth that much, but you can, play mid-range tags with it. It stacks.
So basically, the moral of the story here is the way that he sets up is he has a close range, a medium range, and a far range. I've told you guys this. This is pretty much what I rock almost all the time. So he's covered at pretty much any distance. The only spot where he's getting outclassed here is super long distance, but there's no sniper. He's good. He's good.
The Bloodhound augment, even if you just hit the explosive damage on somebody, you ping them if you have Bloodhound, which makes it very good. If you get opening MK tags on somebody, they go behind cover. You can start tagging them with the explosive repeater behind the cover. Not only are you going to get extra damage, maybe finish them, maybe flush them out of cover, but if you have Bloodhound, you're going to ping this person, and that makes it much easier to close the fight out when you push them. I think the explosive repeater rifle is one of the most overpowered weapons we've had in Chapter 4. It's just like incredibly good as a weapon, but it also has the
Yep.
like added utility of being able to flush people out from behind cover, hit shots on people
Yep.
that are just kind of like playing behind a like
Yep.
right shoulder
And
peak or something.
it
And
murders
then also
builds.
when combined with shockwaves, you
Murders
can just rain down
builds.
shots from the sky, and it's very difficult for anybody to play against this, especially if you have the soaring sprints augment. So I would highly recommend taking shockwaves, even if the explosive repeater wasn't in the game. Shockwaves would still be worth carrying, but with the explosive repeater in the game, kind of that situation I just outlined where like you tag somebody and then they go behind
That was
cover,
awesome right
you can
there. That was that weapon switch that I told you guys. If you guys can master that weapon switch that you just saw Jake do, that is a 10 out of 10. You will eliminate 90% of everyone. You will be top 10% if you can master that weapon switch. Which you just saw. He didn't even go for headshots right there. He was literally shooting the dude in the chest and in the foot. Literally shooting the dude in the chest and the foot and got on a limb.
damage them, or you can just shockwave at them and shoot explosives down on them from the sky. And this also works on people in bushes. You can
Yeah,
destroy
right,
a bush.
right, Crow.
The amount of utility
Right?
you get out of the explosive repeater and the shockwave combo is very insane. And it's also just an incredibly good weapon when combined with the pump. And that's why I think the explosive repeater is one of the most overpowered things in the game. So I'd highly recommend taking shockwaves. And then for your heals, I feel like this is one of the more interesting times for heals recently, because we have the legendary slurps in the game. They're incredibly good.
So
They're still probably the best healing item. But also with the summer event update, we got the low whip special serve
I'll play with you,
ice cream,
Crow.
and you can find this as floor loot, and you can find this as in coolers. And it gives you 100 health, 100 shield, and it takes half a second to use. So you could be at 1 HP, pop this, and then now you're 100. And I definitely have had times where I push somebody, and I'm kind of caught off guard by the fact that they have this low whip special serve, and they can just immediately be back to full HP. Obviously, the slurps can get you back to
I
full
still don't think
HP,
that's
but you need more time.
OP.
You know, you need to pop the slurp. I think the slurp has a half a second use time as well, so the use time on them is the same. But with the slurp, you have to wait for your health to regen, whereas with the low whip special serve ice cream, it's immediate. So if you have access to the low whip special serve,
okay, but you can only hold one of them, and it only does 100, right? So if it only does 100, I think the legendary slurps are. I think
it
they're
is
the
very
best.
good, and it's definitely worth carrying. There are some times where the slurp might be beneficial, though. You know, if you took 50 damage in a fight, I don't know if I would want to pop my ice cream in that situation. You know, it's kind of weird. Like, do I use it for only 50 or do I wait till I take more? Whereas, like, with a slurp, I would have no problem popping the slurp there because I know it's going to heal me and then continue to heal me over the course of the fight. And there are times, especially in game, where maybe you pop a slurp knowing you're about to get into the last fight of the game or knowing you're about to push a player that's going to kind of decide.
Almost every single pro players right now, almost every single pro player does this. Last fight, I've seen them drink one shockwave close, and you go, oh, he's one more shockwave and drink a second one just so he's got all that HP coming. Like, it's all out. If you die with a slurp in your bags, you should be ashamed of yourself, or you should have died instantly to something. You should have gotten globaled. Either one globaled or two, you should be ashamed of yourself.
So on paper, the ice cream is just like the clear best healing item in the game right now, but I feel like there are also some like kind of niche cases with the slurp as well. I did run a poll on my YouTube channel recently, and the slurp far outvoted the low whip special serve ice cream. So I'm not sure how many people even know what this item does, but it's 100 health, 100 shield, half a second.
What did we say?
It's a chug jug that takes half a second.
Legendary slurps, man. Legendary slurps, Jake.
Good.
Yeah, we agree, bro.
It's less convenient.
Your community is correct.
Slurps, though. I mean, it can be convenient if you get a lot of coolers and you get lucky, but you might get unlucky and get none. Whereas the slurps you can get from the vaults, you can get from the combat cache. So there is kind of some give and take there. Also, the slap splashes were just added in the most recent update, and this is basically a combination of the chug splash and the slap juice. Gives you unlimited sprint, but it also heals you. The default version gives you 15, but if you're able to get the exotic version, which you can get from llamas, it gives you 30 health, and it gives you the slap effect for a minute. So I definitely think the exotics slap splashes are worth considering in team game modes. Even the base ones can be nice to have in team game modes because you can give your entire team the slap effect and then, you know, all use that together, especially in the jungle biome. If you stack this with the mud, you get around incredibly fast. But as far as just like off the healing item itself, I feel like the default slap splash isn't the best, but the exotic one is very noteworthy, and you can get it from llamas. You can also get it from hollow chests, but as of the time I'm recording,
I don't know if I necessarily agree with him. I think I see his point on it being situational, but I think it's going to be up to the player on if they want the legendary or the mythic ones versus the rare ones. 6 and 4, 15 and 30. It's going to be up to the one availability and two up to the person.
The exotic version and hollow chest is bugged, and you only get 2 when you get it from the hollow chest, and that's not how it's supposed to be, I don't think. So as of right now, that's bugged. But
I think
in the future, I think the
already.
exotic
We're gonna find
slap
out.
splashes will definitely be something that's worth carrying. The slurps and the ice cream are probably better, but the slap splashes are also quite good if you're able to get the exotic one. And then the final thing I want to talk about is just some augments. I've already touched on both of these in the video, but Bloodhound and Soaring Sprints I think are the best augments in the game right now. Bloodhound with the explosive repeater is so good, especially when...
So I think Bloodhound, Soaring Sprints, and then the ones that augment the lever or your shotgun are the ones that are OP. Those are like
in the jungle,
super clutch.
You can tag somebody with it, ping them.
So I think Jake is correct.
Worry about losing.
Bloodhound is pretty good.
If somebody's in a bush and you tag them with the explosive repeater, then they're marked.
But also, you can also just find a flare gun and go with it.
Marks it for everybody on your team. Anytime you hit somebody with the explosive repeater, or anytime you hit near somebody with the explosive repeater, not only are you going to get damage, but you're going to get wall hacks on the person if you have Bloodhound, so it's very good. And then Soaring Sprints is also very nice. It gets you more value out of your shockwaves. It allows you to get around the map a little bit faster and not use shockwaves in as many situations as you might need to otherwise. And the Soaring Sprint
That's right.
shockwave with the explosive repeater is just pretty much unplayable against. You just shoot down explosives down at people. In solos, this is insane. But
so I actually did that. If you guys were watching, I actually did that live the other day. Soaring Sprints with shockwaves, and I literally had 2 repeaters, and I was fucking gunning it, bro. I was gunning it. Two, and I was literally going from one to the other, shockwaving over them, and literally just bang, 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 bang. It was awesome. It is like, people don't look up. They don't look up. They do not pay attention to up. They only look forward and down. I don't know what it is, but like even back in season 1 when we had the shockwave bow, they didn't pay attention. I could literally fly over them, shoot them, and they would be like, "Where's Captain? I don't know." I don't know.
Even in team game modes, if you're fighting a team and you're worried about their teammates, and then you just start getting tagged from the sky by explosive damage that is also marking you for their team, it's just very difficult.
That is also like the reason why the balloons and that fucking stupid fucking shotgun were so good. They were so good because you could literally keep yourself up in the air forever
to play against. I think the explosive repeater is one of the more overpowered things in the game, like I said, and I think it definitely needs to get nerfed sometime soon. Pretty much the only thing you can do to play against this is also just to shockwave up and then shoot down at them, and I don't think that's good. When like the counter to an item is just to use it first, I think that's pretty bad, or to use it more. I feel like we saw that with boogie bombs in the past, whereas like last chapter, boogie bombs were really overpowered in zero build, and pretty much the only counter to it was to boogie them before they boogie you, and that's kind of how the explosive repeater.
Boogie bombs were fucking stupid. I bet you there are so many people that quit because of boogie bombs
right now. So I think that is just the defining weapon in the meta. You can use whatever shotgun you want with it, whether it's...
Did you guys see that loadout? Literally, basically the same thing, except he's using a shotgun, a repeater instead of a shotgun SMG.
Or the sharp tooth both work very well. Even the higher fire rate shotguns can go well. You can kind of just, you don't need to worry about comboing it, but you can use the repeater for what it's good for, and then just, pull out your shotgun in very close range. And then the MK is just the best they are, I think, right now. So the loadout goes MK Alpha. For me, Havoc Pump, but if you like the Sharp Tooth, I don't
right there. Pick up the flare gun, use it.
Havoc Pump.
He's gonna go drop it. He's gonna he's gonna pick his gun back up.
And then your choice of Legendary Slurp, Lil Whip Special Serve, or maybe even the exotic Slap Splashes. I think Bloodhound and Soaring Sprints Augment are really nice. And if I'm unable to get Shockwaves, then I'm definitely gonna try to carry Porta Bunkers. But as far as having one utility slot, which is what I typically have for pubs, I would rather have Shockwaves over Bunkers. But that is gonna be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below.
So, that was Jake's that was a reaction video to Jake's best zero build loadout in Fortnite. I think there's a couple of things that can be changed. If you don't like the repeater, I think you could go with an SMG. We did see a couple of people that he eliminated there in a few of those eliminations. Definitely carry a different shotgun and an SMG, but the standard is the standard. And you're going to have a movement for the last like 4 seasons, including Chapter 3, Season 3. It was movement, heal, long range, medium range, short range. So you had a shotgun, you had a SMG or pistol, you had an AR, DMR, or sniper, okay? And then you had Chapter 3, Season 3 was shockwaves and big pots or splashes. And then Chapter 4, Season 1 was splashes and a hammer. And then you had the sword last season and splashes. Like, then this season is not going to be any different. Legendary slurps and shockwaves. Like, that is the standard. That's the standard here. All right. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And let me know what you thought in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next video.